everyone, and welcome back. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to our 5-part series interviewing and seeing presentations from the Neighborly brand.
Neighborly is by far the world's largest home service franchisor. In fact, we have over 4,800 locations across the United States and Canada. Did about $3 billion worth of business last year, so we're pretty big.
Neighborly is the largest vertically integrated home services repair and maintenance franchisor in the world. Vertically integrated means that we all tie together. We all own that same home, and we all do different things for that home.
Neighborly, just so you have a good idea, Neighborly is part of a large company called large franchise organization, been around for over 30 years. We have over 4,500 franchisees in the US and Canada, and then we have some out in different parts of the world as well. So you could say that we're an international franchise organization, and we're pretty proud of where we are and what we've built.
Much like everybody has said, Neighborly is a big part of everything that we do and everything we talk about.
Neighborly is the largest home service-based franchise organization in North America. There are roughly 4,500 franchises, and it's just a great opportunity in terms of cross-pollination is a kind of a way to look at it. We use all these brands to really help tie our customer base together.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Tamika, and thank you, Precision Franchise, for having us. What you're looking at with Mosquito Joe is the #1 outdoor barrier pest control in the United States. What we do is we take care of mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas. We are never inside a home. It's all outdoors. And what did just happen to all of us during COVID? We all stayed home. Everybody found out we need to do something to our home in order to be able to be comfortable. That position for Mosquito Joe, we didn't know what would happen at the beginning. What happened was we were up over 30% over the prior year, and it has continued. Because if you look around your neighborhoods, and a lot of the people that call us, a lot of our incoming candidates are people that were working at home, that are looking for alternatives to going into the office, to crossing that bridge in San Francisco, to taking that long highway drive and driving 2.5 hours. They were forced to stay home. And now they're saying, we like being home. How could we make that make a living for us? What happened with us? Look around. Those of you out south, you probably see people building pools. You probably see people buying homes and leaving townhomes and leaving apartments. That is very good for us. We're on the precipice of numbers that we never even imagined. So what happens with us is, just imagine that you could go into a business, people that look for business that has a true calling to make outside fun again. And that's what that's our motto. The franchisees that come to us are people that want to have a cause, say to themselves they're doing something in the community.
For the Grounds Guys is the largest residential lawn maintenance company in the United States. But we don't just do lawn maintenance, right? That's a small part of what we do. We're a full service landscaping company. So we do weed and fertilization treatments. We do hardscapes. We do landscape installs, artificial turf. We even do holiday lighting in the winter, right? Snow and ice removal, pretty much anything that you can think of that takes place outside of the home or office. That's kind of where we live. And really, the reason that we have all those different services, guys, is to have a service for every single season. So whether it's spring, summer, fall, or winter, right? We want to make sure that we're getting that consistent cash flow coming into our business owners, really for 2 reasons, right? Number 1, you're going to want consistent cash flow as a business owner, clearly, right? But number 2, we also want to retain top quality talent, right? Top quality employees. And it's going to be really hard to retain top quality people if we're having to lay them off at the end of every season. So this is a 52-week-a-year business. Sometimes people pigeonhole the Grounds Guys into thinking that all we do is mow grass and it's a 6 to 9 month business. It really couldn't be further from the truth because of all those different service verticals.
As you know, Molly Maid is a franchise company that's been around for quite some time. We started franchising back in 1984, and we've been franchising strong ever since then. We started originally in Canada. It was two partners that started the business together. One wanted to take it to the United States. The other decided to keep the Canadian business. So they operate completely separate, but there is brand presence in Canada and the US. What we do, we're primarily residential cleaning. We do light commercial. By light commercial, I mean your small banks, small cell phone stores, tax size stores. It's a great space to participate in for more of a reoccurring clean. But the bread and butter is the residential piece. More and more people are outsourcing this service due to time. We give back people time in the sense that, hey, they may physically not be able to clean their home. They may not have the time to do their home, nor the patience. What COVID had really generated for our current owners is interest in more and more new customers. People have been stuck at home working. Their children have been doing schoolwork from home. This really kind of gave people a feel for, hey, what does it take to keep my home clean and sanitized? And they saw that, hey, this is something I truly don't like to do, nor can I do. They did their research. They found their local Molly-Made business. They saw that this was a service that truly fits everyone's budget. It's something that can be checked off that to-do list that needs to be taken care of, but it also gives them peace of mind knowing that this thing has been taken care of. Our services are no contracts ever. It's no emergency work. It's a Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 model. It is an executive model. Our franchise owners are not out cleaning homes. They're hiring teams and managing teams and growing the business. The benefits of a residential cleaning business is the reoccurrence. We're seeing our customers on average every 2 weeks with that reoccurrence of them having us inside of their home. They pay at time of service, so there is no invoices. There's nothing going out in the mail. You can truly close your books out at the end of every day. And it also allows you to kind of predict the future as far as what revenues look like next quarter, next year, with the high retention rate of customers.
A little bit into the service lines of it. So people hear, Window Genie, windows, right? Yep. So residential and commercial window cleaning. It's predominantly residential. We do about 80% residential and about 20% commercial. Now, the reason for that is the margins in the residential space are going to be significantly higher than the margins in the commercial space. And this is one of the things that'll differentiate us from a lot of the other window cleaning businesses that are out there who have a tendency to focus on commercial. Commercial kind of falls into that same bucket as commercial janitorial, right? So a lot of businesses, low bidder wins, whereas in the residential space, we can kind of control the margin. Now, window cleaning is only 50% of the business. So there are a lot of ancillary cleaning services that we offer on the exterior of a home that provide multiple touch points in a house. And there's some seasonality involvement with it too. So you have multiple touch points based on the seasons. So some of the things that we do, residential and commercial pressure washing. So now we'll pressure wash anything. Tinting is a nice piece of the business. Now you see this in residential and commercial. Another service that we do is gutter cleaning. Not the biggest revenue driver in the system. It's one of the smaller pieces of the business, but it's a great way to increase the daily average revenue of a truck. It offers multiple touch points, in the spring and the fall when gutters are full. So we can do, clean outs. We can also do some gutter repair when things are, hanging or misaligned or things of that effect. So that's a nice little service that we offer.
So just a little bit about us. We joined Neighborly Brands in 2020, which has been very exciting for our brand and is allowing us to really get to the next level. And we'll get into more details in a second. We are today the leading specialist in residential business and multi-unit dry event cleaning, repair, and installation in North America. We're the largest franchise brand in a needed, recession-resistant. Nothing is proof, as Tommy was saying, but certainly resistant. And I should note that, most of our brands and Neighborly as a whole has grown through the pandemic so far. So we as at Dry Event Wizard, we are now at over 110 locations in North America, 6 of which are in Canada. So what do? We clean the dry event, we repair, we install, and we maintain it. How do our customers see it? We, first of all, prevent fire. I don't know if you're aware, but there are over 15,000 dryer fires every single year in the United States. That's a lot of damage, a lot of property loss. And when you're aware of that, obviously you want to take care of that to prevent it. We also save time and increase efficiencies and increase the appliance lifespan. Some studies show that as a residential, as a client, your energy bill might go down $18 to $24 per month if you clean your dryer vent on a regular basis.
I want to share a little bit more about Mr. Appliance. Been around since 1996. We have over 400 franchisees. About 95% of our franchise owners have no experience at all. Never fixed an appliance, and you probably don't want them to. But this is a business that you can run from home. And what we're looking for is we're looking for our owner not to be the appliance repairman or technician, but to be the boss, the leader, the owner. And we want you to build and create that infrastructure, find that team, and build it from there. It's a very scalable business model. It's very simple. But if you get the concept, one technician, get them going, get them busy. Once they've got 3 or 4 days out, they're booked, bring another technician. And then you can continue to build and scale it there. So this is a business that it doesn't matter what the economy is. It doesn't matter what the weather is. It doesn't matter who the president is, right? It doesn't matter if there's COVID. What matters is if that appliance breaks, it's an emergency. And that's why we're finding Mr. Appliance just to be such a great opportunity for us in this industry, is because we're growing and we're not going anywhere.
Mr. Reuter is one of Neighborly's longest running brands. Okay. We just passed being in obviously North America, coming up on 50 years. Over that 50 years, I think the most important thing to talk about is that we've really fine-tuned processes, systems, just to make sure that the business truly runs efficiently, okay? The average Mr. Reuter does 1.5 million in gross sales, okay? A pretty large number there for a plumbing company, I think you'll find. And obviously, very good income that can be made from that type of gross sales. Your top 50% are producing 2.6 million, which is again a very large number. Top 25% are up at like 3.7 million, and the top 10% are obviously higher than that. We are the #1 plumbing franchise in North America. So as part of being a Neighborly group or franchise group, we also provide ProTradeNet to all of our franchisees. And so what that means is that they can purchase things like trucks or gas or payroll services or uniforms or tools, equipment, health insurance, as you can see, at a discounted or rebated rate, right? And so obviously that allows you as an owner to keep costs down, which is important as a business owner.
Mr. Electric, we've been around since 1994. One of the original, granddaddies of the brand. You can kind of see off to the side over here some of the numbers. An average territory, starting territory, runs about $65,000. Okay, then when you're going to throw in your expenses of the the iPad and another $8,000 to $10,000 worth of stuff to get started, and then your startup capital, and somewhere in there between 100 and 200, 100 and 150 is generally what we say. And that includes your working capital in the background, stuff that's sitting in the bank to make sure you're running that business safely in the beginning. Our numbers are excellent. The average Mr. Appliance across the board from top to bottom is 700, a little over $750,000. Our top 50% are making 1.3, a little over 1.3 million, and our top earners, I think 10% or so, are sitting there right about right around $4 million.
So tell a little bit of a few things on AirServe specifically. We also are one of the original Neighborly brands. Where this number is a little bit dated. I think we're getting close to 28, 29 years old now. Give you some numbers on, I can tell you right now, this number right here, we've got about 225 locations across North America and some in Canada as well. Our average for all of our units, the top half is 1.8 million average gross sales. The average for all of them is about 1.1 million. AirServe has traditionally been known as sort of a conversion brand. So the person that, they have their mom and pop heating and air company and they need help. They need help with systems and processes. And to put it quite frankly, they're not really business owners. Yes, they own a business, but they don't know anything about marketing and, all of the different systems and things of a business. So traditionally, that's where we have really, I would say probably 70% of our AirServe owners have come from the industry, those mom and pops.
Our owners come from corporate America. I understand that paint is not sexy, but the model itself is. So majority of our owners come from corporate America. I myself come from corporate America. And so when you have a candidate that's coming from corporate America and they're looking for a simplistic executive model, it's important that they learn about this one. And the fact that I come from corporate America, we all know that at some point that they're going to gravitate, fear is going to set in, they're going to gravitate back over towards that warm, comfy W-2 blanket. And I know the world, I can bring them back over here, remind them why we're speaking in the first place. I have solid validators out there that came from corporate America that can remind them and reassure them as well. Something that I speak to candidates is, of course, I talk about year one and year two and tell them about the money they can make and how the model works. But what I really do is I remind them what year 5 and 6 look like. I mean, they're coming to business ownership because they want that quality of life. They want that time with their family. They want to spend time with their hobbies, whatever it looks like. Everybody's different, but that's the majority of the reason that people come to corporate to own their own franchises for quality of life.
Today, I mean, Glass Doctor, again, just like Justin said, is a neighborly brand. We currently have 268 locations throughout the US and Canada that focus on the glass trade. Glass Doctor is unique from the other neighborly brands in that Glass Doctor has actually been split into 2 separate functioning opportunities. There's Glass Doctor Residential Commercial Flat Glass, which is home and business, and there's Glass Doctor Auto Repair and Replacement Glass. So not only will the candidate evaluate this brand of Glass Doctor, but they'll also evaluate which side of this trade they feel would be best for them in the market that they own and a brand that they can get behind. Meaning me, I will take them down the path of discovery of both sides of glass. But at some point they'll narrow that down and come up with an idea of the side of this glass that feels like it'd be the best option for them. Glass Doctor Residential Commercial is really broad. It focuses on 3 aspects of business. It focuses on that service call, meaning they need somebody out today to focus on a call of glass in that home or business. We also focus on new construction, which is ground up new construction, and we also focus on remodel. Remodel services are very varied as to what's remodel and what is construction or what is service. We do shower enclosures, we do energy efficient window tear out remodels. It runs the gamut. Anything that has a glass pane in it, we do as Glass Doctor Residential Commercial.
So Mr. Handyman was founded in 2000. We acquired the company in 2015. This slide is a bit old. This was 2 years ago. So we're well beyond 1 million services performed. And the number that you see there, 230 plus franchise locations in the US and Canada, has changed to over 270. We still have great location available. And what we do on a broad sense is the small repairs, the 2, 3, 4 hour job, okay, with a job average of well over $500, okay? And that's really what we want to get going for our franchisees in that first year and a half. But it doesn't mean you're limited to small repairs with Mr. Handyman. We are well within reach of grabbing that remodel job. Kitchens, bathrooms, outdoor patios, barbecue areas outdoor have become a big thing in the last 4 years.
Just a quick overview as far as our company history. We've been in business since 2000. We started franchising in 2008. And 2020 was a very, very eventful year for us, beyond just the most obvious of what 2020 was for most everybody. But two big events for us. One, we had yet another record year revenue wise. And I guess to say that a company had record revenues in 2020 is a testimonial in itself. So with that being said, what do we do? And we're really unique from, I would say, a lot of the Neighborly family of brands in that we are basically a provider of storage solutions in kitchens, baths, pantries, and we've even gotten into the closet space. The most important thing to emphasize, and I do this with all of our candidates, is we do not sell products. We literally are offering customized storage solution. And everything that we do is custom designed and custom fabricated, okay? And both the design consultations and the fabrication are extremely high quality. It's a high quality service, high quality products, and this is our true differentiator. And when you take what we do, how we do it, the quality on which we do it, and the scale on which we do it, we actually do not have any direct competitors in our space.
Learn how to leave a colorful legacy. So that is sort of our motto from a Rainbow standpoint. Rainbow International has been in existence for 40 years now. And again, we're focused on the insurance-based mitigation business. So our primary work that we're doing is water damage, fire damage cleanup, smoke and odor removal, mold remediation, etc. Again, for the past 40 years, we've grown as an organization. We are the original brand in the Neighborly family, but importantly, what we also look at that helps set us apart is the ability for our franchise owners to diversify their business. With candidates that may look at this as an opportunity, there is just a multitude of ways you can expand your business out. Take advantage of different opportunities to grow, to create the business that they do want. So expansion of service is a big part of what we promote for our ownership network as a way to continue to grow their business. Another key factor that a lot of people look at when looking at a Rainbow franchise is our ability to offer national accounts, or what we call key account program work. So as part of our network, that sets us apart from a lot of restoration companies and a lot of restoration groups is we have national program work with major insurance carriers, with national property management groups, and with a number of different TPA type of organizations, third-party administrators, that bring work to our network in the claims world.
And I'm going to start off with a little brand history on RPM. So our original location launched in 1986. We are more than 30 years old. We launched our 100th franchise in 2011. In 2018, we opened up our 300th. At the end of 2020, during the pandemic, we launched our 350th franchise. And back in 2020, we caught the attention of our now parent company, Neighborly. So as far as the day-to-day operation of operating a property management company, first thing our franchisees do, obviously, is to go out and talk to investors about managing their properties. Once we have those properties under management, franchisees are responsible for leasing, advertising their vacancies, screening residents, and all of this is automated for you through our software. You're also responsible for collecting rent, trust accounting, making sure that each of the bank accounts is reconciled properly. And that's a bottleneck for many owners in year one. So we take that on for our franchisees so that you can focus exclusively on building your portfolio of doors. We're also responsible for the maintenance on the properties that we manage. And that might include coordinating maintenance issues such as a plumbing issue, painting. We inspect the properties that we manage. We really work hard with our investors to maximize the ROI on the properties, and that includes maintaining them and creating healthy, happy, and living spaces for the people living there. And eventually, you will occasionally have to deal with an eviction in the property management business, but we have systems in place to handle that. And overall, system-wide, our residents process maybe 1-2% of their tenants through that. The key there is proactive screening, which we also do teach our franchisees to do.
The business specifically I want to talk to you about is home inspection, Housemaster home inspection. And those of you on this session tonight who own a home have probably had a home inspection. I can say that confidently because 85% of homes that trade hands will get a home inspection. And that makes our little industry multi-billion dollars. And for our part now, we are very much the leader in that industry. I do not say that lightly. This is a company that was founded in 71. We franchised it in 79. And since that time, we've been very much setting the pace, creating how this industry works and many of the organizations that operate it today. But today we are about 300 locations across the US and Canada, more than 4 million inspections behind us, and continuing to grow, right? We're continuing to grow and consolidate an industry that really tends to be fragmented. Most home inspections are still done by a guy with a truck. And I don't say that negatively. I mean, some of those guys are really talented, but if you do wallboard for 26 years and then when your shoulders get sore, you become a home inspector, you really know your way around a house, but it's hard to compete. Right, it's hard to compete with a company like Housemaster and the size of our marketing department, our technology, our systems, our processes, 42 years of heritage and experience, and so that has allowed us to grow. And so today we have reached that size.
What sets us apart is the ability to have a seasonal business that doesn't require a brick and mortar office, that lets you call your own shots, decide how involved you want to be. Do you want to be the hands-on owner operator? Mm-hmm. Are you outdoorsy? Do you want to be the tech? Do you want to have a customer service person do it? You decide. You have that freedom.
What sets us apart is we're a unique business. You don't see many people offering that type of service as experts as we are. You will see companies offering it as an ancillary service, but quickly when you get started with your business, you're going to become the expert, right? Because they don't have necessarily the knowledge. They don't know the code of the venting system for a dryer. So you become, and that's why they become your number one of referrals in your markets, is because you're a really niche business where you are establishing yourself as the expert.
In Window Genie, we talked a little bit about the cross promotional efforts. So using a common database. So for example, we were talking about that Molly Maid aspect again. So, so let's say you join the system as a Window Genie. One of the first things we're going to do is start doing e-blast to Molly Maid's customers saying, hey, we now have a Window Genie in town and here's the services they provide. And so you can click here and schedule an appointment with them. So there's the ability to cross brand with them. You think of like a Glass Doctor, who's another brand that you may have already had on or will have on.
It's
so
coming up.
Yeah, they'll put glass in, but they don't clean it. So, you get some referrals there. Painting contractors will have to have a lot of pressure washing done. So there's that cross promotional element. So that's a big piece of it.
I think, when it comes to plumbing, and I'd say maybe for a lot of repairmen, unfortunately, we probably have a vision of a certain individual that's going to show up to the door, right? Mm-hmm. And that vision may not be great, at least when it comes to the plumbing side of things, and a lot of jokes aside. But when it comes to Mr. Reuter, the professionalism that's displayed, everything from where you park your truck to how you introduce yourself, it's all lined out and walked through and trained and so that and many other things set us apart. I think the experience with the homeowner and just the professionalism that our service technicians bring to the table every day with the homeowner.
If I can jump in, I'll just kind of add on to the top of what he said. And what I say runs through brand to brand. But from the moment when somebody Google searches to find out, who they want to use, and they see Mr. Electric and they click on it, the next thing you know, they're at a Mr. Electric site. They're booking their appointment straight online, or they can, and the second they book that appointment, they're receiving an email. When they get that email, it's going to, one, have confirmation of the appointment. Two, it's going to have a picture of the technician that's going to be coming to their house. And we found out a couple of years ago that that was a huge thing, not being sexist, but the women really appreciated the fact, because most of the time it's women at home, that they knew which strange man was going to be showing up at their house. And anyway, in survey feedback, that came back very, very high as something that was important to them. So, and anyway, so the next thing you know, and it's going to tell you, hey, this is Paul. He's been with us for 5 years. He's been a licensed technician licensed electrician for 20 years. He'll be at your house at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So in the morning, when Paul gets up, and he puts on his uniform, and then he goes and gets in his professionally wrapped van, and he heads to that house. When he gets in his van, he's going to set that iPad into travel mode. The second he puts that iPad in travel mode, text message is automatically going to be sent to the customer, and it's going to say, Paul is now en route to your home. He will be there in 30 minutes or whatever it is. So every step of the way, it's professional.
I always say that our biggest competitor is the largest independent mom and pop shop in any local market. And right now, there are about 83,000 people out there calling themselves property management companies operating out of the back of a car. And also, there's a lot of real estate agents out there who claim that they're doing property management. But the goal of a real estate agent is to sell a property, not to maintain it. So our differentiator is we maximize the revenue for our investors. That really is the key here. We have the highest revenue per door, anyone in the industry. So that right there, any item 19, side-by-side comparison, we have the highest revenue per door. We also have the highest success rate. We have 98% success rate in our system. So those are the biggies, insofar as if you wanted to compare us to any other franchise out there. But we are the largest full service property management firm out there. And we were also rated #1 by Entrepreneur Magazine in our space. And then I will say what really differentiates us, and as far as we just got our business review back, and 89% of our owners, 89% of our franchisees rated us above average in collaboration amongst our franchisees. We have the most collaborative, supportive bunch of franchisees. So beyond the support that our owners are getting from our support team, our leadership team in Dallas, we have 300 other owners out there. You can post a question to anyone. You can reach out to them, and they are just highly supportive and collaborative, and they bring a tremendous amount of expertise to the table that allows our franchisees to really scale and grow. There's a certain point where if you have a property management company, you're trying to do it on your own, you're going to hit a brick wall if you don't have the support and systems that we provide. So those, I would say, those are the biggies. That's really what makes us stand out.
And we have opportunities all over the country and Canada. We certainly have some areas that are starting to get sold out. But please, if you've got a market that you're interested in, let TAMIKA know. But we're certainly looking for some people in the California market, all over California. We've got a lot of opportunity in Arizona right now, in the Phoenix market. Lots of little pockets all over the country. So let TAMIKA know where you are, and we'd love to chat with you. We'll show you the map.
I encourage anybody on this call to consult with you, not just from the franchise standpoint, but checking with territory. But just off the top of my head, state-wise, some of the best ones we have as far as availability is California, Michigan, and New Jersey. Some of our top hot spots as far as more funneled down: St. Louis, part of Chicago, Miami, Las Vegas, just to name a few. But anything else, we got lots of availability as well. Check through TAMIKA. She's the one.
Rainbow has plenty of great locations available. I know I mentioned a few earlier: Nashville, Oklahoma City, the Bay Area of California, et cetera. But yes, we have market availability all across the United States. So if you're looking for a home, we'll be able to find you one.
Again, guys, thank you for joining us. And if you joined late, it is okay. You will be able to have an opportunity to get the recording for this webinar, along with the others that I have done before. So again, there's resources on my website, precisionfranchise.com, where you can connect with me. We have a free e-course where you can learn a little bit more about the industry. I have also a questionnaire, which is going to be great for those that, maybe you're not sure exactly where you fit. You'll be able to rate the industries in that questionnaire. And then you can book some time with me so that we can start to discuss what it is that excites you. What is your passion? What type of what's the best fit for you? And it is a process. This is definitely designed for you to be able to make the best decision possible. The one thing I definitely want to end on is financing. So we have resources where we connect you with, so that we're able to make this happen. You need a franchise attorney. That's something that I'm able to pair you with. For financing, we have, of course, we have SBA. There's a lot of different lending opportunities. A lot of people don't know that you can use old 401k. There's ROBS, where you're able to fund the business. So if it's something that you are interested in, you want to learn more about entrepreneurship in the franchise space, the one thing that you need to, keep in mind, again, it may sound like a cliche, but when you are going into franchising, you're definitely in business for yourself, just not by yourself. And just listening to a lot of the support pieces is the reason why we say that. Okay, guys, so thank you again. Have a great night. And there's no more questions in the chat. You guys have a good one. Thank you so much for your time tonight.